Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Small Biz Highlight. If this is the first time you're joining us, thank you, first of all. Second of all, my name is Tiffany Roman and I am your host. Small Biz Highlight is a show dedicated to small businesses. We love to help introduce the people behind them, talk about their products and services. We'll talk about how COVID affected them a little bit. And then, maybe a couple other extra things in the end. Who knows? But first, before we get all started, I have to remind you all that we are live with StreamYard. Love StreamYard, makes it so easy for me to go live and make this show possible. If you are catching us on Facebook right now, welcome. If you would like to leave a comment from anywhere that you're joining us live, please do so. We love to show off comments on the screen. But Facebook, if you could just do me a quick favor and click StreamYard.com/Facebook, that helps StreamYard and Facebook talk to each other so that we not only see your comment, but we can see your name and your profile picture. Because, we like to see who's talking to us, give you that little props in the in the moment, I will have the link in the comments for you, but it is in the description of the video too, just in case. And as always, I love to remind you guys that this year I am using you selfishly as my support people. And as I am on this journey of more self-acceptance, self-love, and faith, and, I just am pushing that off to all of you. Hopefully, after the bizarre last 2 years, this year you kind of take time to just reevaluate you, what's important to you, and taking time to accept who you really are, have more love for yourself, and just faith in yourself. So I am, again, just using you selfishly for my own my own journey through this process, but please, you are welcome to join me and share it along with your friends and family. Okay, so speaking about friends and family, Small Biz Highlights friends button to invite everybody to like the page is missing. Nobody can tell me why or when I'll get it back. So we need your help. Help us spread the word about Small Biz Highlight. Doing so is so easy. You could pick this video, for example, hit like, make a comment, share the video, or find a post that we've posted previously, like it, share, or just share the page in general. Doing so takes about maybe 2 seconds, maybe. And then ultimately, you are not just supporting the show, myself, but you are ultimately supporting all 118 episodes that I will have by the end of this evening. How insane is that to think about? Just by posting one post or sharing one post, you could ultimately bring 118 different businesses to someone's attention, and you never know who on your friends list is looking for a certain type of product, service. So please share away. Help spread the word about these small businesses, please. Thanks to our sponsor, Text for More. They are making it so much easier to find Small Biz Highlight by just texting the word Small Biz to 717-670-6400. On that page, we'll give you a brief introduction to each service that we provide, the links to, get yourself scheduled on with us. And then, of course, the links to our live broadcast today. So definitely check it out. And, I know we always used to love that as our main hub for the Small Business Saturday event. So check that out later when that comes up again. And as always, there's an app for everything, and Small Biz Highlight is no different. It is available right now on Google Play and Apple App Stores, ladies and gentlemen. Every single web show episode, podcast episode, digital TV episode, all of our upcoming events, everything you could possibly need to know about Small Biz Highlight is there in one app. It's amazing. I love it. So much respect and appreciation for my friend Dan at Dapper Apps, who helped hook me up with such an amazing app. So please check it out today. All right. So enough about me. That's enough. I'm done boring you. I promise. Tonight we have an amazing guest with us this evening. Kerry has a very interesting business that I'm very anxious to get to know a lot more about. It's called Book, Speak, Repeat. I just like the name. It sounds pretty self explanatory, but I'm guessing there's a lot more to it. So let's get her on here so that we can do just that. Learn so much more. Hello, Kerry.
Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for having me on the program.
I am so excited to have you here. How are you doing this evening?
I am doing great. I'm trying to stay warm. For those who don't know, I'm here in Florida, and anytime it drops below, 55, we're breaking out our winter gear. So just trying to
Yeah,
stay warm.
so it's like 18 degrees here. So
Oh, I can't even imagine. Oh my
I
goodness.
wish I could blow a raspberry into the microphone and it not sound horrible.
I talked to someone last week. It was 6 degrees where they were.
Woo!
And I'm like,
I
okay, I need
know
to be
it's
quiet
horrible.
now.
It's horrible. I can't complain though, because there were some parts in PA and other states surrounding us that got hit with a ton of snow. But thankfully, where I'm at, I did not get a whole ton of snow. Thankfully. Thankfully. But I'm so excited to have you here. Like I said, I'm really excited to learn about your business. But I always start out with a very simple question. Sometimes it trips people up, sometimes it causes very interesting answers. So I really love it. So, Kerry, help my viewers get to know you a little bit. Who are you?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to figure it out. No, I'm just kidding. If I had to describe myself in just a few words, Tiffany, I would have to say, and this is going to sound a little weird, a simple Southern gal. I have very simplistic likes. I'm, not really out of the box as far as like, doing skydiving or anything like that, but just very simplistic. I was born in Maryland, but I was actually raised in Florida, so I do consider myself a Floridian. I am a fur mama to three male cats, Marlin, Brando, and Pirate, who I adopted at the height of the pandemic. So that's a big part of who I am. I am a
Wow.
speaker. I'm a trainer. I'm very passionate about getting my message out there to help other people. And I also like to provide tools and things that other people can utilize to get their message out there too, because I'm a big believer in no matter how small or insignificant you think your message could be or your words of advice are, there's someone out there that needs to hear it. And if you don't get out there and shout it from the rooftop, you're doing a disservice to the rest of the world.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree. Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And there's nothing weird about saying that you're a Southern girl. I think that's just straight and to the point, basically. But Florida, I'll be there in a few months.
Yeah. Come on
we're, we're treating
down.
we're treating the boys to a trip to Disney, so we'll be down
Oh,
in Florida a
you're
few
going to be
months.
in my neighborhood. I'm in Longwood. I'm in the next county over. So
Oh wow, okay. All
very
right.
close.
Yeah, we're really excited. The boys are super excited. I'm sure you can understand that. But I I'm looking forward to it. I've been there before. My boyfriend hasn't, and the kids obviously have not. So it'll be a great adventure to see their reactions to everything for the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time and remembering what it was like for me to be there for the first time. It's
Mhm.
been about maybe 14 years since I've been there. So
Wow. Yeah. Well, you'll definitely have a nice time, I'm sure.
it'll be different between now and then for sure. Oh, all right. So talk to me about Book, Speak, Repeat. What is this business all about?
Well, Book Speak Repeat, I have been an entrepreneur. This coming June, it will be 17 years for me.
Oh, wow.
Long
Jeez.
time. Yeah. But like I tell everybody, it's, when you start your own business, it's never a straight line. If you write a business
Mm.
plan, use a pencil because you're going to be needing that eraser later on.
Oof.
Um, yeah. And kind of the whole crust of where Book Speak Repeat came from, it's kind of an interesting story, but going back to when I first started out on my own, prior to starting my own business, I was a recruiter. I worked in the corporate arena. I did a lot of business development, and I also did a split desk where I would bring those job orders in and I would recruit for them as well. So I did a little bit of both, but I primarily did business development, and I did a lot of trade shows, had to participate in a lot of different networking organizations and do a lot of cold calling. So I really honed in on my sales skills, which you really need if you want to become an entrepreneur. You need
Oh
to work
gosh,
on
yes.
that. You've got to sell yourself. So that really prepared me. I knew I wanted to go out on my own. And of course, like I said, it's never a straight line. When I
Hmm.
started, I actually wanted to get back into, I modeled when I was very young. I wanted to do,
Oh,
modeling and acting, like getting back into that profession and working with models and actors and pageant contestants for color
okay.
analysis and helping them feel better about their outside presence,
Huh.
because that helps you on the inside as well. And I really, again, that's what I wanted to do. Now, back then, when I started my business, we didn't have all this cool stuff we have now, like StreamYard or Wix or
Yes.
Shopify or HostGator. Back then, if you wanted a website, you were paying somebody to do it if you did not have that
Ooh.
technical background. So I saved money. I worked part-time for a year, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to make the leap now. I'm ready to, and I just made that jump. I put in my 2-week notice, worked out my notice that Friday. I thought, I'm free. This is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And that Monday morning, I woke up at my regular time. And I remember, because here in Orlando in the summertime, it's usually, we have rainstorms all the time. And
Oh
it
yes.
was overcast. It was, a little bit of fog out. I got up, I went to my dining room window, and I thought, oh gosh, what did I just do? But that was going on 17 years ago. And like I tell everybody, I would not trade my worst day as an entrepreneur for my best day in corporate. If it's the right fit, it's the right fit for you. But I kind of fell into speaking, to be honest, me personally,
Hmm.
when I went out on my own, because I had been a former recruiter. I had
Oh, okay.
colleges that would come to me and say, hey, I was also teaching at a learning annex place called the Knowledge Shop at the time. And, they would say, hey, come talk to our graduating class. I was teaching a class called Resume Writing and Interviewing Techniques. And I was like, okay, I'll go. And, back then there were more speaking engagements than there were speakers. So they were seeking us out, so I would go, I'd get asked to speak, I'd go speak, collect my check, and go home. And I kind of got
Yeah.
away from it for many years. I went from, wanting to do, work with models and actors. And then I kind of started doing my own networking functions. I became a meeting planner myself and kind of got,
Hmm. Okay.
that chance where I had to do my own events and get butts and seats, hire the speakers, the education lineup, and sell out the exhibitor spaces. And then that kind of went to, I had companies asking me, hey, help us with our sales and marketing. And I kind of transpired and got away from what I really loved doing. About 6 years ago, I came to my team and I said, look, I really miss speaking. I want to get back out there and start doing my speaking again. And I have to tell you, Tiffany, my first gut reaction was like, you have got to be kidding me. I mean, it was nothing like what it used to be. There's these call for speaker forms. There are,
Yes.
if you want to speak to the association market, there's a different way to go about it. Colleges, universities, high schools, it depends. Do you want to speak to staff, students? Same thing with private training. It really depends on who in the company you want to train. So it took about 6 months
Oh.
before myself and my team figured out, okay, here's the process. Here's how it works. Kerry's getting booked, and I'm a process gal. So once I find that system that works, we keep banging that drum. So I told my team, I said, you know what? I don't scare easy, but this process made me take a step back and go, whoa, so I can only imagine somebody who's brand new, to
Oh
speaking, or maybe
yeah.
like myself, used to do it a lot and then got out of it and is getting back into it, or even current speakers who I knew, I'm like, they have to be struggling. They've got to be. And I was right. But that's where the idea of Book, Speak, Repeat came from. It's evolved quite a bit over the years, but we have some great products that we allow people to have access to. They can either buy outright or have like a membership based. product where they're getting some group support and they're getting call for speakers sent to them. Our whole goal is to help make the process of getting booked as a speaker easier. But we also want to make sure that people have the tools that they need, because you have to be involved in your own success. And I find a lot of people, they don't want to do it. They want to off it to well, I'm going to have my assistant do it, or I'm going to have this person do it, or I'm going to build a sales funnel. And I'm like, listen, meeting planners are going to eat you alive over this. There's a right way to do this and a wrong way. We have a process, it works. So that's what we do.
Yes, no, you're so right. Gosh, you gave so much information all in one plot. I love it. I love it. Okay, so all right. So first of all, congratulations on taking a chance on yourself, because that is ultimately what you just did 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. When you said, I'm done, I'm going to go out on my own, and you did it. I know from firsthand experience, it's so scary.
It is, but
yeah, it feels really great too to know that you took your chance on yourself. And then when you see yourself, building it up and it's starting to flow, and you realize that you're waking up and enjoying waking up to, okay, I've got to work today. Like, that's just the feeling you don't get all the time. And it's such a great feeling.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I snuck and put your website on the page to give people a view of what it looks like while you were talking. And it's so much amazing information on the website too. So if you guys really want some more information, there's testimonials. I mean, all kinds of stuff. So what major items, if someone was interested in becoming a speaker, what major things would you suggest they look into before getting started, I guess, is the best way to ask that.
You mean on my site, or just in general that they want to think about?
Both. So let's talk in general first. What are some tips you would have for someone who's interested in becoming a speaker? And then we'll talk about the process on your site, getting booked up with you.
Yeah, there's 5 main things that people need to have, when they become a speaker. Sometimes, people come to me, they have none of this, and we help them in the program, there's back-end content. But this is stuff you can do on your own. At the end of the day, anybody can get booked as a speaker. It's actually an easy process. But the question is, how much we as human beings, I find we have a tendency, it can't be that easy. There's no way. And we come in and we complicate things. So as long as you're not complicating things or adding more people to the mix, and you're just doing the work, you can get it done quickly, effectively, and easily. But there's 5 things you really need to have, whether somebody works with me or not. Number 1, you need to have a current headshot. Meaning a shot that looks like you. If you send it to me and like, for example, if you send me your headshot and you're like, hey, Kerry, come down to Disney and meet me and my kids. Okay, great. I've got your picture. I need to be able to pick Tiffany out from the crowd. So it can't be her high school photo. It can't be, something she had done 10 years ago. So yes. Keep your headshot current. I recommend you get one done every 6 months, or, have an event photo taken, either one, whatever works best for you, because people need to be able to recognize you. The next thing you need to have is your bio, which is your entrepreneurial resume. So keep that current, up to date, no more than like 2, maybe 3, or if you're going to do 3 paragraphs, make sure that they're short. Have the most pertinent information. If you just won an award, or you got nominated to do something, or you wrote a book, include that. But don't have, you were featured on the Oprah show back in 1994. No, that's nice, but no, nobody cares today. Sorry, but nobody cares. So your entrepreneurial resume, or what people would consider your bio, is second. The next thing you need to have is your topic. What are you going to talk on? And a lot of people struggle with this. So what I tell everyone is, think about, like, if you go to a networking function, or you go over, I don't know, your cousin's best friend invites you over for dinner. There's 5 or 6 people there. When people come up to you and you introduce yourself, and people say, hey, what do you do for a living, Tiffany? Or what do you do for a living, Bob? And maybe you're a real estate agent, or you're hosting a podcast. What are the top 3 or 5 questions that you consistently get about that? So for example, if you're a doctor, like, oh, I'm thinking about sending my kid to medical school. What do you think about that? Or, what do you think about, they're going to ask you certain questions, and everybody gets these. I don't care if you're a plumber, real estate agent, podcast person, entrepreneur, there's going to be a top 5 list there. So what you want to do is jot down on a sheet of paper those top questions that you get that you hear at least 3 times. I have a rule of 3. When you hear something 3 times, pay attention. There's a reason for that. So those, if, for example, a real estate agent, how can I not make a bad deal selling my house, or how can I make money off of selling my home? There's a great topic right there. Okay. So you need a couple of topics, no more than 3 though. Okay. You don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. Pick 3 that you feel comfortable talking about. The next thing that you're going to need is a summary for each one of those. And that summary is a brief paragraph, meaning 4 or 5 sentences of what that topic is about. So if I go back to my example of the real estate, so if you're a real estate agent and one of your topics is going to be how to sell your home at a profit, regardless of what the market is, then you need to write up a quick summary about, everyone's always, paranoid about selling their home. Are they going to lose money? Are they going to make money? Where are those hidden costs? What should I do first? And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So very brief description of what that topic is about. Last thing that you need is 3 to 5 takeaways for each topic. So you've got your topic, the summary of what it's about. And if I come in here and hear you speak for 30 minutes or an hour, what am I going to be able to implement on my own when I walk out of that room? So it needs to read, attendees will learn, how to analyze your amortization schedule for your property. What hidden costs are there with, I'm making this up as I go along. It may be right, maybe not, but, where are the hidden costs when I hire a title company? What should I look for? Top 5 things I should look for when I'm choosing a real estate agent. So actionable items or things that they can learn and they can take away. So that way you've got your topic, your summary, your 3 to 5 takeaways, your bio, and your headshot. So you're ready to roll.
Wow. And do people usually put this like on what they call a 1-pager kind of a thing when they're trying
you can do a speaker 1 sheet. I do not recommend them. Meeting planners hate them. A lot of people don't know this, but when you have a 1 sheet, think about this. If I sent you a 1 sheet and you had to print it out, chances are it was designed so there's color that's going to be taken from your printer. And most of us are working from home now, meeting planners especially. Okay.
That's a good point.
They have to print that out. And then the font is so small because you're trying to get everything on 1 page. And then I see where people are like, oh yeah, Kerry, I have my topic summary and 3 to 5 takeaways. Okay, great. Send it to me. They send me their 1 sheet that has just the topics listed and like maybe 1 sentence underneath. And I'm like, no, that's not what I asked you for. Topic summary, 3 to 5 takeaways. Again, simplistic. Don't make it complicated. Put it in a Word document, copy and paste it in an email and send it to a meeting planner. They appreciate that more because when they print it out, they're going to be able to read it, number 1. And 2, they can forward that on to someone where it's not an attachment. Put it on your website. Have a tab that just says speaking topics and put your speaking topics there. Again, don't complicate this. Don't feel like it has to, this has got to be super duper extra creamy sprinkles on top and just really outrageous before anybody will hire me. And actually, those are the things that deter a meeting planner from hire. They want the nuts and bolts. What do you speak on? That's all. I want your topic summary, 3 to 5 takeaways. And the reason that format is so important, just to share a little background information here.
Yes, please.
As a meeting planner, the reason they want it in that format is because if they hire you to speak, they're going to take your topic summary, 3 to 5 takeaways. They're not going to edit it. I don't care if there's a typo in there. They do not change anything. They copy and they paste that into their own marketing material for that workshop or that you're doing, because all it takes, Tiffany, is for them to add a comma or take 1 word away, and it can change the whole landscape of what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And this actually happened to me one time. The first time I spoke at the wastewater treatment show, I've been there 4 years in a row. I typically get picked to come back, which is great. But the first year I was there, I was actually asked to speak on the women's track. There's 30,000 people go to that show every year. Less than 300 are women. So I'm the daughter of a contractor. My father was an electrician for many years. He's retired now. But I had sent this lady a podcast to listen to that I was on. And, she said, you're the daughter of a contractor. Why don't you talk about succeeding in a male-dominated industry? I was like, okay, it was bending my tree, but not to the point where I felt like I couldn't add value. So I decided to be really cute. It was the wastewater show. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the title of my topic is going to be Watering the Seeds of Change. Okay, which is a great
Love it.
topic. Everybody loved it. But the problem was, and again, this is my fault as a speaker, but they don't change anything. I had quite a few men that showed up for my talk. And I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of cool, in a way. But I always go around, I introduce myself as a speaker and, hey, my name's Kerry Heaps. I'm a speaker. Is there something particular you wanted to learn today? Well, I come up to this guy, fairly young guy, and I'm like, hey, what made you decide to come today? Are you looking to learn something specific? And he's like, well, yeah, I'm a landscaper, and I know sometimes I use different types of water and and he's going into like all of this technical talk. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, that's great, but that's not actually what my speech is about.
Oh
It's about,
no.
I kind of told him, and he was like, oh, so luckily he was able to go like next door to learn about something different, because if not, he probably would have been like, oh, what is she talking about? So
Yeah.
they're never going to change your topic. They're not going to change anything about it. Whatever you give them is what they use. That's why it's your job as the speaker to not only create that, but also create your presentation based on that. So you're delivering the correct content that they are telling the attendees you're going to deliver.
Wow.
So
Such amazing information. Okay, so before we get into what the process is to get linked up with you and your site and all of that, I'm going to take a quick break so I can show off my little video here for my amazing sponsor, Text for More, and we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go nowhere.
Are you tired of missed business opportunities because you don't have the marketing tools that big companies do? Do you want to generate more sales with less effort or technical knowledge? Text for More is a digital marketing solution that is both your digital brochure and web presence that connects you directly to your customers. Best of all, Text for More is proven to deliver results. In fact, some of our clients have seen their monthly revenue increase by as much as 5 times in the first couple of months. To get started today, text the keyword MORE to 317-342-8114 and see how we can assist you. Text for More. Next generation brochures for the digital age.
I always joke that I feel like I'm a real host because now I have a commercial to play during the show. But we are back with Kerry, ladies and gentlemen. She just dropped some amazing tips and ideas for, if you're looking to be a speaker, what the planners are looking for, what they're not looking for. I mean, she just blew my mind on the one sheet thing because I feel like everybody's obsessed with creating a one sheet, and you saying that it's not necessary just like made it so much easier for so many people, I feel like, when they heard that.
Well, I find, there are some misconceptions in the industry, and I would love
Oh
to
gosh,
clear those
yes.
up too while I'm on the show. But yeah, that is the one sheet is one of them. And yeah.
Wow. Okay. So book, speak, repeat. If someone's interested in linking up with you to, build up their career with speaking, get booked for gigs, if that's what you call them for speaking too, what does the process entail? Do they set up a meeting with you to talk about what they're looking to do? How does it work?
Well, basically, what they do, what we have available for everyone now is our products. So we have two things. Our flagship product is our Speaker in a Box audio product,
Oh,
which
wow.
that, you can go to the site. When you click on the big button that says Learn More, it'll tell you all about what's included, what you get. We do walk people through step by step remotely, like through video, like here's your next step. This is what you do, creating your profile. We do have group support. So you can learn all about that. The people in that program are spending no more that most of them 3 hours per week, but no more than 5 with filling out applications, having conversations with meeting planners, sending out emails, and doing follow-up and closing. If they're doing more than that, they're either they're wanting to really up their game and get a lot of speaking gigs, or they're doing it wrong. They're going against what we've taught them how to do, because there's a right way to do this and a wrong way. And I want to help save people. The time is a big thing, save time. And just, speaking is a momentum business. It takes 3 to 6 months before you really start to see that snowball momentum building up. Where you're really kind of like, okay, because again, like what's coming down the pike now, what we have on our call for speaker list that goes out every Saturday are opportunities for, third, fourth quarter of this year or first quarter 2023. They always pick their educational lineup first before they start promoting their big events. And same thing with college, the college market and associations, or not associations, I'm sorry, private company training opportunities. It's usually within a 3-month time period, but usually not sooner. So it's not something that you can jump in and I'm like, hey, I'm ready to be a speaker now, and everybody's going to come running. If you feel like you want to start tackling this and start getting opportunities second quarter, you need to start, well, you should have started last quarter, but the sooner the better. So we do, our processes are self-paced. We do offer group support. And then of course, for those people who can't afford that program, we do have a lot of, different products and small things that they can get on their own, webinars and so forth. I sell a speaker journal as well. And then of course, I do have some free content on my site as well. My speaking business has evolved so much over the past year, and I am getting immensely busy to the point where I'm like, okay, there's only so much time during the day, and I want to be able to spend time with my cats. So
I don't blame you, but that's such a great feeling too. It has to be, to get to that point where you're like, okay, we're getting a little too busy. Let's spread it out here. No, but I love the idea of your business. I think it's amazing that you're teaching people how to be speakers. I don't think I've ever come across someone who actually does this as a business. So congratulations. I really, man, I was reading through your testimonials and like the stories that the people were saying about how much you've helped them and the success they found by using your system and whatnot. I mean, wow. Wow. Okay. So I want to thank you for being here. If you are just catching us, you need to catch the replay. I'm telling you right now, you missed it.
Get the replay. Do it.
If you're catching us live, please don't hesitate to let us know. #live in the comments. We'd love to see who's here joining us and enjoying the interview, obviously. If you are catching us live on our web show, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're catching us, please hit like, share, comment, what have you. Help spread the word about this amazing business owner. If you are catching us on our podcast episode, thank you. You can absolutely, find the information to contact dear Kerry in the comments and the description of the video and the podcast episode. And I even copied and pasted the information into the comments of the video. So there's just no excuse, people. You want to get a hold of her? It's there on the screen the whole time. I'm telling you, this woman is the one you need to contact. Look, see, Sharon Adams is someone you absolutely need to get in contact with. I absolutely.
Hello, Sharon. Hello.
Sharon, this is the woman you need to hook up with. Sharon is amazing. She has such a love and passion for her business and needs to be out speaking about it more. So, okay, so I'm running a little bit late, so I want to quickly thank you again for being here, Kerry, for sharing your business and those amazing business tips for anybody who's interested in being a speaker. It was such a great time speaking with you and getting to know you.
Well, I'm honored to be here with you and with everyone, and I hope what I shared today helps someone as well and gets them started on their journey.
I absolutely think it will. For more information, always, just check out the links in the comments or the description of the video and podcast episode. I will, of course, leave you with your friendly reminder to put your community first. We do that by shopping small and supporting local. Good night, everyone. I'll be right back with my next guest who's hopefully patiently waiting for me. See you in a couple minutes.
Bye-bye.